Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. This looks quite a promising rack. Do I have a bingo? Is mensing good? I don't feel particularly confident about this, but it is fantastic. Always good to start with a bingo. Now, I've drawn the Q, but I don't have a U. However, the rest of the rack pretty bingo-y. There is an I, so I could play cheese through that, leaving a pretty decent 5-letter set. I don't need to play the second S, but I would be getting 1 extra point. Anywhere else for the Q? Not really. I need I's and A's and U's. And the only vowels on the board and my rack is this solitary I from mensing. I don't think mensing takes the front or back hook. So if that I is blocked, do I change? And if so, what do I change? Just the Q? Okay, well, I don't need to consider that because my cheese spot remains. But I do have this issue as to whether I play chi or cheese. Double S, not great. However, I could use it next turn if I don't have a bingo for going on the end of convo or the end of chi. I don't think it can be a bad thing keeping the duplicate S. I'm going with chi. Okay, so I draw an I. Does this give me a bingo? And I'm initially looking for 7s. Great, opponent hasn't bingoed. Wow. I think this shows the problem of the second S. Everything on this rack is bingo-y, but no 7-letter play has come to mind. So what about the floaters? What about the A of Jiao? I've got the ISO prefix, I've got the ED ending, the DIS beginning, the IES ending. Donziest is good. That's been blocked by the Q. Cestoids has been blocked by the Q. Oh, wow. If I miss a bingo here, it's going to be super high probability. What about the M of mensing? I've got the ism ending. Just wondering about distomes, but that doesn't play anyway. What about J-O? Not seeing anything. What about O? Osteoids. Ooh, is that good? Is that good? Osteoid is, but does it take an S? Yes, it does. Fantastic. Okay, and I've now drawn a non-bingo rack. However, amongst my high-scoring tiles, I've got vowels, which always assist with playing them away. 39 for opponent, so I lead by about a bingo, and I'm on turn. I can play, well, I've got washi. I'm just going to see what this scores. So washi for 45, keeping a lot of vowels. Can I do anything better? I certainly want to play off W and Y. H is fairly bingo-y. What about, well, playing through this E or A doesn't do anything to address the vowels on my rack. So where else should I be looking? I don't think anywhere. I think I have to look in this washi lane. At least I'm sorting out the duplicate A. Denying opponent this spot, scoring a lot. Yeah, I'm going with this. Wow, pretty good. I only draw one vowel and 3 consonants. I could have been in a lot of trouble with vowels. So, any bingos here? I'm not seeing a 7. There's a floating G. I don't have an I, so the N isn't an available floater this turn. I've got the AGE ending. Not seeing anything. So how about H? No. W? No. Okay, well, I hope I'm not missing a bingo here. Opponent plays Fern. I still lead by about 90 points. And I'm looking to play off the B and tame the vowels. So BE, well, OBE would leave read, and read is really good. Bow's not good. Bios is good. Well, that's not what I was looking to play. Bio, and it's an E I'm looking to play. OBE. Job is good. So I could play bead. Road isn't as good as READ, but it's still pretty good. 26 points, quite good, given that I'm only playing off tiles to balance my rack. Still 2 blanks to come. Bead provides nothing for opponent, which is good. Column 2 is hot. So if I had a play getting the bead tripled and the whole thing doubled, that would be a better play than bead. But do I have such a play? KO is good, and KA. Let me momentarily put this back, because if it could end SED. And could there be a bingo ending OSE? I've got the aero prefix. And have I properly considered all the floaters? I don't think I've considered the M. No. And the Y? No. Okay, I'm going back to bead for 26. Great, I draw the first blank, and I don't duplicate the O I retained. I'm still slightly vowel heavy. Just 33 for opponent. 13 minutes on my clock. So, do I have a bingo? Nothing has come to mind, but this is a really promising rack. And there are floating M, G, Q, H, and Y. Y doesn't look useful. I've got the ED ending. What about the H? Mounted an odometer through the M. Don't play. Now surely there's something with the G. I've got the RE beginning, the ED ending. Guess it's the U which isn't forming part of a prefix without using the blank, so out and un. 12 minutes on my clock. I'm mainly focusing on the G. for a bingo. Boriguero as a 9. So this rack plus a G. I don't think Gauger takes a D. "11 minutes on my clock. This rack plus a G. This is the over prefix. Devourer with an R. Dowsy through a P. Wow, how this is frustrating. I feel that there's something here. So it could begin with H, it could begin SH. Is Y really? It doesn't have to begin with Y. Okay, not seeing anything there. EWAA, pretty hopeless. M, how might this end? It really is. Well, what about the N? Because if the blank was an I, no. Okay, so nothing in column 9. QU, not seeing anything there. So it really is the G. That looks the most promising. Be rouged. Be rouged. Always tricky, these BE beginning words, because the BE prefix doesn't bring anything to the party, but I think this is good. And it is fantastic. Wow, I was on the brink of giving up finding a bingo. Now, this is a tricky rack. No scoring tiles. A U. Duplicates. I'm really going to struggle to score here. However, if I played off Knurl, I would keep Rit, which is a decent rack leave. Opponent bingos. So my lead shrinks to 1 bingo, and this board is wide open. And there's a blank unplayed. So Knurl, and I'm short on time, only 9 minutes. I spend a lot of time finding Be rouged. What about a play in row O? I definitely want to play off the U. Well, I've got Knurl here, which is my absolute preference in terms of playing tiles. It only scores 8 points. Is there any point looking for a better spot? And this is taking out an S lane bingo, the only one on the board for 7s. And I'm obstructing this R. Row O not particularly dangerous, and I can't play off these tiles. Do I have anything beginning with the N or L next to DE? Because GU is good. I have Lunt. No, OT not good. I'm going with Knurl. Well, having kept my preferred RIT, I then duplicate 2 of those tiles. And another tricky rack. However, it's balanced in terms of vowels and consonants, so a long way away from a rack which requires changing. So M's my scoring tile, and I want to play off the duplicates. It's possible there's a bingo here. There's a floating E. 30 for opponent, so they're not finished yet. They still trail by just 1 bingo. Gosh, I've got air as a prefix, which sorts out the duplicates with trim. No, not seeing anything. So where can I play off R-I-M? Well, my vowels don't go next to the R. Double R, not terrible. There are no more to come. $28 if I had a play beginning on this triple letter square. Ah, well, why don't I play Umbira? 18 points, plays off pretty much the tiles I was looking to play off. Yeah, and obstructs this E, so I'm going with this. Wow, this looks jolly close to a bingo. Do I have one? Slightly vowel heavy. So where are the floaters? Oh, our opponent's playing quite quickly, so they've obviously spotted I'm short on time. They've only used 3 minutes of their own time. I could have an IZE non-bingo in column 15. 41 points for opponent, that's a good score. So I've got the I, and I need 5 tiles to go in front of it. Nope. Well, I really just want to play off an I. But that's how opponent catches you, by if you just play off tiles and can't convert. Still this blank to come, and Riyadh could be setting up a big column 15 play and only 15 points. So I've got that in my back pocket. Playing column 12 is too risky. 3 E's to come. Let me count the remaining vowels. 10 out of 26, slightly vowel dry. This is an excellent set of vowels. And I'd certainly need vowels to play an IZE play. I quite like DI. Four minutes on my clock. I'm going with this. Okay, so well, I have Diptera and Partied and Pirated as 7s. Umbira only takes an S. Diptera plays in row B and AM. Fantastic. Will that stay available? Shoegaze is one of the new words. Only 16 for opponent, and I'm about to bingo. Fantastic. So Diptera is going to open up row A. 4 minutes on my clock. Do I have anything better? What about row D? This rack plus an E. No. This rack plus an A. No. What about a play parallel to Knurl? Well, L only takes an S. What about this M? Wow. Pre-admit. Oh, and that just fails. Okay. So I think Diptera it is. For 66. Pretty grim. F, U, V, and Y. Opponent could be about to bingo, but they can only bingo once because there are... Well, no, there are 8 tiles in the bag, so opponent could bingo and draw 7. I lead by 90 points, so opponent, I think, does need to bingo now. But can I get value from these scoring tiles? None of them go above the I. I have Fay in row A. That would be the end of the game if I can get that down. But supposing opponent plays in the middle, what do I have top left? Nothing. UFO. 51 points. Oh, wow. And what's left is bingo-y. And I only lead by 50. So this game is not won by any means. Where is opponent going to bingo? Nowhere on the left-hand side of the board. They could stick an S on the end of Umbira. They've got nothing to go above this double letter square, so top left isn't dangerous for me. The only thing which wins for opponent is a bingo. And the only lanes, there's column 14, where I could have played Diptera and Ag. They're sticking an S on the end of Umbira. Can opponent bingo? There's Sweeney. Is that good with IE? I think opponent may struggle to bingo. If I play in column 13, I'm opening a new lane in column 14. Oh, 3 tiles left. Why don't I do this? Fave, one of the new words. And this will be the first new word. 9 points. Killing column 14. If opponent does bingo, there's 1 in the bag, so I get the opportunity to score with the Y, which I could do next to the F. Yeah, this sounds like a plan. Fave for 9. And, wow, opponent certainly could have a bingo. Tame is good, but double E bingos, well, they do exist. As do massive overlaps in row C. But even if opponent bingos, I've got 1 shot at extracting value from the Y. So I've got OY in column 14 for 26 points. That probably won't be enough, because opponent will then have the opportunity to play off their 1 remaining tile. What have I got top left? Wow, really not seeing anything. What about row C? Bay is good. So I have Toei for 30 points. That's pretty good. I don't think opponent's going to block that with a bingo. And I can't see a way of extending that to get doubled. So the job is not done, but I feel in a reasonably strong position. Opponent has not bingoed. Great. They trail by, only 24 points. So this is what I'm thinking of. Toei for 32, for 42. I'll lead by 56. Opponent, I think, would need a front extension to gaze to catch me. Yeah, I don't think they have got that. Or have they? No. So I'm going with Toei. And I have AIU. Am I going out in 1 with that? Well, I'm expecting opponent to go out. So I'm not expecting to have to play again. But if I have to play again, is there a way of going out in 1? Not that I can see. A2 is good, so I would need a floating T for that. I don't have any plays in row D. Aha, okay, so opponent does go out. And the final score, 413 for opponent, 442 for me, a winning margin of 29 points, so a huge, huge win. Let's see what I missed. Wow, what a game. And the first of the new words. So it was me to go first, and I have mensing, which looks best. Oh, wow, what a contrast with opening racks. Oh, Vonic, that's nice. I'm wondering if that's one of the new words. It could be. But opponent plays convo. I have this rack. I thought about cheese and went with chi. Very difficult to choose between those. Opponent plays Jow. And now I play osteoids, and that was the only bingo, just playable in different spots in row M. And I played it to the left in order to get the play doubled. You can see an 11-point difference in score, but I'm surprised it's the only bingo. Opponent plays Koto. And now I play Washi for 45, keeping 3 vowels. I could have played Who's in column 2, keeping AAY for 3 more points. I think I prefer Washi because I think I am bingoing a lot more often with AEO than I am with AAY. Opponent, another Grim Rack, plays Fern. Phew, I thought I might have a missed bingo popping up here, but there was a column 2 play, Bros for 36, and rebased in the same column. What do? Oh, this is where I play Bead for 26, keeping Road. So I could have got, I think Bros would have been a better play. B, not massively dangerous in terms of opening column 1, and ADE is a nice rack leave. Opponent plays Sax, and I have this tricky rack. All I saw was Be Rouged, and wow, that was the only bingo. Astonishing, and delighted to spot it. But look at this, opponent's luck has changed. They now have a decent rack and are back in the game. And tricky rack, very few scores over 20. I play Knurl, which is about a 10-point sacrifice, in order to keep the best possible rack leave of IRT. And you can look down these rack leaves, and they are all significantly inferior to IRT. And I just draw attention to Saruti at 011. That is one of the new words. Now, opponent's rack. They play Spare. Oh, I thought that was a missed bingo coming up, but it wasn't. Airtime for 20, and then Umbira for 18. Well, this rack leave is better than after airtime, and only 2 points difference, so I like my play. Opponent plays Luz. And now opponent is jolly close, just half a bingo behind. My rack. Phew, no missed bingo. And this is where I play DI in order to keep a really bingo-y 5-letter set. So that accounts for the score sacrifice. The best on offer, D8. Dieter, that's nice because it's not opening up anything. I think I would have played Dieter if I'd seen it. Now, opponent's rack. Missed bingo. Thanage. Wow, where does that play? Row B because of EM. That would have really turned things around because then opponent would have had a lead. However, if opponent had played Thanage, would any of my bingos have played above it? Partied Diptera and pirated? No, because Dem and Pem aren't good. Diptera would have played in column 14, so I would have had a comeback bingo. Now, my rack. And Diptera was the only bingo playable in row B and column 14. Opponent plays Batch, could have played Betcher, which may also be a new word. And here it is, Fave for 23. The first of the new words to appear on this channel. What else was available? Well, there certainly were alternatives, including fave for a much bigger score. Let me just go back. Oh yes, I did have an A. So what it's saying is I could have played fave across row B, but that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to take out bingo lanes, not create triple bingo lanes. So my massive score sacrifice was entirely strategy driven in terms of taking out the S hook for Umbira and leaving one in the bag. So the one in the bag was the blank. Good grief. So opponent couldn't have hooked Umbira and doesn't have a bingo. Plays wheel. I have Toei, and opponent goes out with nets. So what a game. Super exciting stuff, and not over the line until the very last move. So many thanks to opponent for a good battle. I hope you enjoyed watching that game. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.